and delighted to say that Viddal Riley, the English cruiserweight champion, joins us in the studio now. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Looking forward to your fight against Chev Clarke upcoming. The opportunity for you to win a is it a British title or European title that you're trying to win?
Yeah.
A British title that you're trying to win. How important is that to you after becoming the English?
Extremely important. You know, it's like a natural progression. So to be the English champion, have defended that title, to now progress to the British title, which is like the first major, you know, professional title, of course, is a big deal. Big deal.
And you did it by beating someone who was previously unbeaten.
Yes, 13-0, Nathan Corliss. Yeah, it was one of. I think it was a good performance, dominating performance. Won every round. Defended it against Mikel Lawal as well. Won almost every round there as well. So I feel like it's right that the level goes up. No, the level goes up.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's an interesting division, a cruiserweight division. I was a little disappointed in Viddal in the fight against Lawal because I thought it wasn't the fight that I expected. It was I thought I expected a little bit more of you, and that's it's praise, because ultimately, if I'd expected less of you, then I'd regard you less. But this is an interesting division now. You've got Akoli and Riakporhe vacating the scene.
Mm-hmm.
You've got CBS. Trying to rebuild his career. So what's the plan for you? And I know you're going to take one fight at a time, and I know you're a bright lad, I know you do a variety of other things as well, but this is your core opportunity now, isn't it? So this fight with Clarke, I know you're not going to go past it, but what's in your mind's eye, if you've got a plan that you want to be able to achieve, how quickly do you think you're going to go through the gears, fight for a European belt, then start moving up into the world rankings?
I honestly feel like that British title is the propelling title. That is the title that pushes you into almost anything to come next. You know, people have gone from British title fights to world title fights, British to European, which is more of a natural progression. The division is in a transitional phase, like you said. I really don't know what is next after Chev Clarke, but it has to be onwards and upwards.
Are you disappointed that the fight between yourself and Chamberlain never materialised?
Yeah, that was very disappointing. It's something that I'm over now, because of course I had a new goal put in front of me as that one fell through, but it was disappointing. I think it was a good build up, a lot of back and forth, a challenging fight for us both. You know, the public were really connected to it, so for it to fall through, it was very disappointing.
Can it reappear?
I think so. I think so. Leading with what you were saying about the division being in that space, at any time, anything can happen right now. I think me defending the British title against Isaac Chamberlain is a high possibility. You know, it's something that could happen. So, and they're all big fights. The good thing is that no matter what direction I go in, they're all challenging, juicy fights.
Well, we've seen people like El Zorro have an opportunity. I mean, obviously he got blasted out by Jai Pataya, but these opportunities exist. I mean, when you look around the division, do you see yourself, pairing up against people like, say, Jack Massey further down the line?
Again, these are guys that are really in that space that I'm in. You know, that if you look at the top 5 in the country on BoxRec, like all the names that we've just mentioned are right near me. You know, right next to me, above me, or just underneath. So these are fights that are, and who knows, anything can happen where someone gets injured in the build-up to this fight, and then Massey might be the replacement, or Isaac could be the replacement. You know, we've seen that quite a lot, the last-minute guys stepping in, and I have to keep my mind open to all of those fights and opportunities.
What's your view on being on the undercard of this Ben Eubank fight?
It's historic. It's historic for me. The venue is, the thing that I'm most connected with, being from Tottenham, growing up in Tottenham, literally 5 minutes from the stadium.
You're not a Tottenham fan, are you? I mean, it's not as if you're wearing anything to do with Tottenham, is it?
Yeah, no, I am. I am a Tottenham fan, and I moved to Tottenham when I was 8 years old, 9 years old actually. So from then, I've supported the team. Went to the school across the street. So now I'm getting an opportunity to fight in the stadium. Historic main event, of course, but just being able to do that on my doorstep sooner than I thought I would. Proud, but I'm not going to take it in until the job's done.
What's your prediction for that fight?
For the main event?
Yeah.
My mind changes every day.
What's your gut feel?
My gut says Eubank, but I can see a fight where Conor does the job, and I can see a fight where Chris does the job. But I don't think it's going to be one-sided no matter who wins.
So you think it's 50-50 pick and fight?
I go 60-40. 60 Chris, 40 Conor.
What do you think?
I don't care.
Have you changed your mind at all? You don't? You're not interested, are you?
No. No.
Not you have no feelings.
Listen, I understand the emotional reaction to the fans. I mean, I've spent time with Eubank Sr. and Ben Sr., who were fighters I admired tremendously. I went to see Nigel fight Gerald McClellan in that tragic circumstance, and I went to see Chris Eubank fight many times when he was in his pomp. These two boys can't lace their father's gloves, and part and parcel of the reasons why they're getting the attention is because Snake Oil, Eddie Hearn, is maximising the opportunity, but is because of the legacy of their fathers. And I wanted Conor to come back from the challenges and fight for a world title,
right?
Not to fight for what I consider to be a circus. But I get it, and I respect people wanting to watch it. Are you a natural cruiserweight, or are you more likely to find yourself moving up into heavyweight at some point?
I think if the opportunity is presenting itself correctly, I could go to heavyweight. It's not something I've always thought about, like, oh my god, I'm dying to make cruise, I can't wait to move up. It's not the feeling that I have. It'd really be opportunity based, but I'm definitely a natural cruiserweight, and I feel like I'm still growing into being on the bigger end of the division. I mean, well, not
because that's. I mean, obviously, Richard and Lawrence have departed up to heavyweight. Lawrence via bridgerweight, got his world title in bridgerweight. Now got himself ranked #1 in WBC, which I find a little bit perplexing, given the fact he's boxed one round in the heavyweights.
Yeah.
When you look around at the cruiserweight division and you look at CBS and what he's been able to achieve, obviously beating Lawrence, beating Masterson, and obviously beating Richard Riakporhe. You look at Zerda Ramirez and what Zerda Ramirez did to him. You look at Bado Jack as the sort of heavyweight champion that's allowed to have it in recess.
Yeah.
It's a division that's open for opportunity, isn't it? Jaya Patea is the beast, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the king of the division, the Ring magazine champion, looking the most devastating. He's also expressed his interest to want to go up to heavyweight as well. So it's like, this next 18 months is going to be very interesting. I just got one job, which is to make sure I keep winning and keep myself in the hot spot and in the hot pocket.
So you're expecting to win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on the 26th of April?
Of course.
How many games do you reckon that Tottenham are going to win between now and
Oh, man, that's a painful question. I just want to represent on behalf of the team and give us some sort of victory.
And do you think that you might be the only one from Tottenham that's going to win a trophy this season?
I hope not. But if it is,
it might be.
If we do the Europa, I think it still is very disappointing what's happened in the league. But at least we could say we won the Europa League. But if Tottenham don't do it, I'll at least win the British.
Yeah, well, at least there will be silverware held aloft at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium by someone associated with Tottenham.
Yes.
There you go. What do you make of the YouTube scene at the moment? Because you famously trained KSI for a couple of years between 2017 and 2019. Are you still sort of keeping an interest in that? Are you? I still keep
my eyes on the on the misfit scene and what's happening over there. I'm not as involved and in touch with it because I'm not coaching with it. So, but I do like to see how the game has, progressed from the beginnings of it in 2017 and how they're managing to maintain the. But I feel they're in a difficult space right now. They're in a difficult space, especially with JJ KSI withdrawing from the fight with Dylan Dennis. He is still the huge name, the biggest name. So something like that does make the scene take a bit of a hit, and I think we just need to see the fight that we want to see, which is him versus Jake. I think once that fight happens, we'll see a resurgence in how popular that side of the game is.
Didn't Jake Paul call you out at some point?
He did, but he calls out everyone, doesn't he? He called out AJ as well. Yeah, he called out AJ the other day as well. Now he's a marketing genius. He knows what to do and when to do it. I don't know if it's all his ideas or if people sit down at a table and say, let's pull this card, let's pull this move. But he has called me out.
You must have sucked your cheeks in though a little bit with the Wayne Bridge situation, mustn't you? You must have thought that was a bit strong.
Yeah, that was a bit strong, but
How's the rapping going? You still doing it?
Still doing it. Not something that I'm releasing or looking to push out to the public. It's very important that, like we said, man, these next 18 months are so key.
You stay focused on what you're doing. I can't afford to be diddling here, dabbling there. Like, I'm still gonna make music because to me it's something I like to do, something that I like to produce to a certain quality. But the time will come when I know it's time to push that out alongside everything else.
Is it right, Viddal, you've got a YouTube channel where you've got about 1 million people that follow you?
1 million subscribers, yeah.
So are you looking to capitalise on that and turn that audience into something that supports you and builds your reputation as a boxer as well?
Yeah, that was always the goal. The goal was, how do I turn these viewers into buying tickets to the fight, buying pay-per-views to the fight, being invested in the journey, you know. Fortunately, having that channel, people have been able to see every fight of my career. You don't get a chance to see every professional fighter's career, so
people can follow your journey.
Yeah, I've had the ability of having the camera. Here's my debut in Mexico, in Tijuana. Here's my fight here in Vegas. Here's now my fight's obviously on Sky Sports, but before that, I've allowed the digital footprint for people to really follow the journey. And I think after this fight, I'm gonna be more active on the channel because it's in a new era now.
Why'd you go with boxer? Why'd you go with Ben?
Well, coming back to the UK after being signed to Mayweather Promotions, we was looking at where will I get the biggest exposure? What's the biggest broadcasters?
Sky.
You know, when we look at Sky Sports. So I worked with Ben previously on a social media side of things, not as a fighter. So before Boxer had the Sky Sports deal, I met Ben Shalom and was doing like a YouTube like vlogs and stuff for him. So when I seen that he managed to get the business from doing, you know, events in ice rinks to being with Sky Sports, I was like, you know what, I can see you got a future thinking, and you're not gonna judge me on how I've risen to prominence because you've used it before. Yeah. So it just made sense.
Good stuff. Well, look, good luck on 26. Appreciate you coming in. Good luck to Tottenham for the rest of the season.
We're gonna need
as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's decked out in full Tottenham gear, head to toe. You got your Tottenham underpants on as well under there.
No, you know what? They didn't send me any. But if they did, I'd have them on. I'd have them on.
Fair enough. Well, listen, thank you very much for coming in. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Viddal Riley, who is the English cruiserweight champion, looking to win a British title on the 26th on the undercard of the Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. fight. You listen to talkSPORT?
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.